Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Stotara Sadasri Srimad His Divine Grace Avait Saranarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Skan Bividi Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gaurang. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Are you reading now? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaivam Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayat Mudirai Nashtabrayestu Avadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Ruttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistuke Yamsyanubhavam Akhilam Sutisharam Ekam Adhyatma Deepamatithir Satam Tamandam Samsarina Karunayaha Purana Guyam Tam Vyasasунamupayami Gurur Muninam. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, the creation of the fourth order, chapter 26. King Puranjana goes to the forest to hunt. Text 9. Tatra nirvinna gatranam Chitra vajay sile mukhai Viplavo Bhuddhukhitanam Dosha Karunatmanam Tatra Nirvinna Gatranam Chitra Vajay Sile Mukhai Viplavo Bhuddhukhitanam Dosha Karunatmanam Tatra Nirvinna Gatranam Chitra Vajay Sile Mukhai Viplavo Bhuddhukhitanam Dosha Karunatmanam.
Tatra nirvina gatranam.
Tatra nirvina gatranam.
Chitra vajay shile mukhai.
Vajay sile mukhai.
Viplavo buddhukitanam.
Viplavo Sritanam.
Saha karunatmanam.
Dosaha karunatmanam. Tatra nirvina gatranam. Chitra bhajai sili mukhai. Viplavo buddhukitanam. Dosaha karunatmanam. Tatra nirvina gatranam.
Chitra vajay
Sili mukhai. Viplavo buddhukitanam. Yekaha karunatmanam. Tatra, there, nirvinna, being pierced, gatranam, whose bodies, chitrabhajai, with variegated feathers, sili mukhai, by the arrows, viplavaha, destruction, avut, was done, dukkhitanam, of the most aggrieved, doshaha, unbearable, karuna atmanam, for persons who are very merciful. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When King Puranjana was hunting in this way, many animals within the forest lost their lives with great pain, being pierced by sharp arrowheads. Upon seeing these devastating, costly activities performed by the king, all the people who were merciful by nature became very unhappy. Such merciful persons could not tolerate seeing all this killing. Please repeat. When King Puranjana was hunting in this way, many animals within the forest lost their lives with great pain, being pierced by the sharp arrowheads. Upon seeing these devastating, ghastly activities performed by the king, all the people who were merciful by nature became very unhappy. Such merciful persons could not tolerate seeing all this killing. Purport. When demoniac persons engage in animal killing, the demigods or devotees of the Lord are very much afflicted by this killing. Demoniac civilizations in this modern age maintain various types of slaughterhouses all over the world. Rascal swamis and yogis encourage foolish persons to go on eating flesh and killing animals, and at the same time continue their so-called meditation and mystical practices. All these affairs are ghastly, and a compassionate person, namely a devotee of the Lord, becomes very unhappy to see such a sight. The hunting process is also carried on in a different way, as we have already explained. Hunting, women drinking different types of liquor, becoming intoxicated, killing animals, and enjoying sex all serves as the basis of modern civilization. Vaishnavas are unhappy to see such a situation in the world, and therefore they are very busy spreading this Krishna consciousness movement. The devotees are pained to see the hunting and killing of animals in the forest, the wholesale slaughter of animals in the slaughterhouses, and the exploitation of young girls in brothels that function under different names of clubs and societies. Being very much compassionate upon the killing of animals in sacrifice, the great sage Narada began his instructions to King Prachina Barishat. In these instructions, Narada Muni explained that devotees like him are very much afflicted by all the killings that goes on in human society. Not only are saintly persons afflicted by the killing of, but even God himself is afflicted and therefore comes down in the incarnation of Lord Buddha. Jayadeva Goswami therefore sings, Sadaya Ridaya Darshita Pasughatam Kesava Srupa Kesava Dhrita Buddha Sarira Jaya Jagadisha Hari. Simply to stop the killing of animals, Lord Buddha compassionately appeared. Some rascals put forward the theory that an animal has no soul or in something like dead stone. In this way, they rationalize that there is no sin in killing animal killing. Actually, animals are not dead stone, but the killers of animals are stone-hearted. Consequently, no reasons or philosophy appears to them. They continue keeping slaughterhouses and killing animals in the forest. The conclusion is that one who does not care for the instruction of saintly persons like Narada and his disciplic succession surely falls into the category of Nasta Pragya and thus goes to hell. Nasta Pragya means the destruction of knowledge. Pragya is knowledge. Nasta means you lose your humanity, common sense, saintliness, everything. Become a demon. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjanasalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Sthapitamena Bhutali Swayam Rupa Kadamhi Dadati Swapadantikam Bandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalan Sri Gurun Vaisnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatan Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parejan Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakhan Pitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastati Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Pancha Kalpataru Vikshukripa Sindhu Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaisnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Tatra Nirvinna Gatranam Chitrabhajai Sile Mukhai Biplavo Bhodukhitanam Dusah Karunatmanam. This beautiful verse reminded me about how Arjuna felt in the battlefield when he was uh, about to fight with his people. Mhm. Here he says, Drishtvaimam sojanam krishnam yuyutsum samupastitam siddhanti mama gatrani mukham cha parisusyati. This is beautiful. Gatrani, the word gatrani is coming here also. It means body. He says, siddhanti mama gatrani. Siddhanti means shaking. My body, whole limbs of my body is shaking. Mukham cha parisusyati. My mouth is drying up. Drishtvaimam sojanam krishnam. By seeing my sojanam is my relatives. Hey, my dear Krishna, after seeing, upon seeing my all the relatives who are assembled here to fight, yuyutsum. In Japanese, yuyutsu means karate, right? Fighting, fight. Yuyutsum samupastita means who have assembled with the purpose of fighting. Upon seeing that, my mouth is drying and my whole body is trembling. This is the mood of a devotee. But these people in this material world, they are like a comedian. You know how comedian perform the stage program? They just make people laugh. They talk something about funny thing and people keep enjoying and laughing and then something like this. So people who do not understand or realize that the ultimate goal of life is to come out from this material world and to attain your original pure consciousness of Krishna consciousness and return back home, back to Godhead. But in the contrary, they are busy doing so many things in this material world and then acting so much and falling under the complexities of karma, and they are like acting like a comedian and we devotees are laughing at them. But devotees, the Vaishnavas has a great compassion. They are not only laughing at them, but they are trying to rescue them from their pitiful condition. That is why devotees are greatest person who does the welfare, the greatest welfare activities in this world. And because of our desire to not align with the desire of the Supreme Lord, then we fall into the ditch of karmic reaction. As long as you follow your prescribed duty and dharma and you do something with your consciousness, thinking with thoughtful mind, then we never fall into the ditch of karma. That is why Krishna never falls in the reaction of karma, because Krishna never does nothing, single one step without any specific reason or goal, purpose. That's why Krishna is trying to teach the living entities that do it as per the instruction of the Shastras. Yasastra buddhim usridzya vartate kama karata. When you perform the activities that is not stated or that is not given in the scriptures, or if you act any action without the spirit of the scriptures or negating the instruction of the scriptures, then you fall into the ditch of karma, and then you cannot become peaceful, nor you can become liberated. It's a very interesting thing to realize and to understand and to think that when we do something, most of the time when we do, like, we are always encouraged, let's do it. We will see something happen. If something bad happened, then we'll see it. But just enjoy it. Let's enjoy now. Let's do it now. And whatever happens, we will take it. We will face it. No problem. The consequences. So we always see the reaction, the result of what we do, and we keep doing, because we are under the influence of three modes of material nature that always bind us, rule us, and instruct, guide us to act. So the bhakti process, the Krishna consciousness process is to stop acting whimsically and to follow the authority. That is the main goal, main purpose of life, to follow authority and act for your ultimate benefit. While doing so, we will not fall into the ditch of karma and we can return back home, back to Godhead. So when this very important goal, when somebody is not understand, and these people are called in Sanskrit, they are called champu. You know the book Gopala Champu? Champu is also like a poetic style to compose some composition, but in another way, champu means in Sanskrit also one who is a comedian. Everyone laughing at him. You know the famous comedian who Prabhupada would love, Charlie Chaplin. He's dancing, but his back, and when he wears pants, there's a hole in the backside. But he thought people are laughing for his dance, but people are laughing for his clothes. So we should not be like that. This is the greatest opportunity given to us in this planet. And there are so many ideas that people are driven by. If you go to Mahakumbha Mela again in India now, you only see all the majority of people are Naga sadhus, who you will never see other time of the world, of the year. And it's just everybody saying Jai Shambho, Shambho, Nirakar, Nirakar, no God, Sunya, zero, zero. Every single people they're coming there, they listen from them. God is Nirakar, Jai Shambho, nothing, try to become zero, empty. Then whole world, they're just influencing people like that. But crossing all these ideas, all these philosophies, all these different bad conclusion of the scriptures, somehow or other, one was very, very fortunate has come under the guidance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching. Can you imagine how rare opportunity this is to become Krishna conscious, to come under Prabhupada in institution and to follow bhakti? Is really beyond our imagination. How fortunate moment this is, beyond our imagination. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is stating, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada is saying, just try to remain within this boat. No matter what happened to your life, no matter what kind of earthquakes happens in the course of practicing Bhakti Yoga, simply remain within this boat. Your deliverance is guaranteed. Otherwise, in the Vedic time, there was big different worshipping process, demigod worship, all the controlling different controlling demigods. Even in Narada Muni said in Bhagavatam that one should worship the Supreme Lord, demigods, your forefathers, all the rishis, saintly persons, and yourself, in order to get out from this material world. Now, our Acharya has tried to explain that what does that mean. We are Vaishnavas, we do not worship demigods separately. We do not worship all the Vedic saints and rishis separately. We do not worship ourselves. If you go in Mahakumbha Mela again, you can see some sadhus, they're doing arati for themselves. And when somebody asks, what are you doing? I am worshipping the Lord sitting inside my heart. Makes sense? So such kind of weird. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has straightened up everything. So how do we worship demigod in Krishna consciousness? Because demigods, they provide us all these material things, elements for our use. We cannot be disrespectful to the demigods who provide all these necessities of life. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that Tranadapi Sunichana, Tarorapi Sahisnuna. You have to, Amanina Manatena, you cannot disrespect anyone, you should respect everyone. But how do we worship demigods? Devotees are very smart. They think that all these 5 elements who are controlled by demigods, they use these things for the service of the Lord. And demigods, when their items, their controlled things are used for the Lord, then they become more happy than acknowledging or appreciating them for providing those things, because they understand that they are simply controlling and everything belongs to God. This is the Vaishnava understanding straightforward. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought this idea so that people do not confuse. And how do we worship the saints, all the saints, Vedic saints? We are not worshipping like every Kashyapa Rishi, this Bharadwaj Rishi, all these rishis separately. When you Karma Kanda, when people do the ritual, everyone, single of them has to be worshipped in order to as rituals. But Vaishnavas, they worship the great devotees of the Lord who impart this great knowledge to them. All our gurus are saints. And we do everyday Guru Puja. The principle of worshipping saintly person is the same. The process is different in Krishna consciousness. We are not negating. We are not negating all these Vedic standards. But our process is from a little bit different. All the Vedas, they glorify Indra, Agni, Varuna, all the great personalities. But if you see that indirectly the prayers are to the Lord who are living within the Varuna, within the Chandra, within the sun, within the Agni. But that worship of Govinda through the demigods is indirect. That's why Krishna says, that is Avidhi Purvakam. Vidhi Purvak means perfectly according to the rules. Avidhi means not completely, correctly. So the idea that Ramakrishnan, the famous, the commentator of Bhagavad Gita, who said that it is not who we directly surrender to Krishna, but Krishna within the Krishna. This also comes from Vedas. When Vedas find all these demigods, actually the glorification was done to Krishna living within the demigods, who is called Antarayami. Antarayami means what? The Lord who is living within our heart is called Antaryami. Tu Antaryami Sabka Swami. You are living within the heart of every living being, and you are the master of all living beings. Tu hi to hai Radha ka Syam. Hey Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Oh Lord, you are the one, the same person who lives in the heart of all living beings and the master of Srimati Radharani as well. So I pay my obeisances to you. This way we worship saintly persons. And now, how do we worship ourselves? The question comes here. Worshipping ourselves? How? Devotees, they have understanding about worshipping ourselves means we purify our senses by following sadhana, by taking the shelter of Krishna's holy name, and with purified senses, with purified mind, with purified body, we serve the Lord. This is the worship of yourself in Krishna consciousness. So when these things are understood by the living being, then they understand the real purpose of life. Only then they can act in Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, all these animal killing, slaughterhouses, maintaining slaughterhouses, be healthy, and all this thing it's not helping us at all. It is all making things more and more difficult and critical and problematic in this material world. So out of the compassion to destroy the ignorance of the people who are sleeping in the lap of Maya, our devotees with great compassion continuously go and chant and awake them. Wake up. Here is a book. Take it. Please read it. So this compassion cannot be understood by ordinary people. The crowd that comes in the Kumbh Mela to take a snan, they can never appreciate Krishna's teaching of Bhagavad Gita. They really very lightly, very cheap things like, oh yeah, Krishna, yeah, he said that. But Krishna himself doesn't know who he was talking about. Such a full understanding is there in the society, and then that idea is ruling millions of people, and they are very attractive. Wow, this looks great. It sounds great. Yam imam puspitam bacham is very flowery words, beautifully presented to the people. Yeah, you are zero. If you try to stop and then come out from this existence and then inspired to become Sunya, then you see everything within the Sunya. This is all separated cell from the body. When a cell is separated from your body, what happens? That cell becomes cancer. And that separated cell spreads so fast, it covers all over the body and kills the body. The cancer is that. It is nothing but a cell that comes out from the body and grows separately, thinking that I am the main part of the body. And what happens? It kills the body ultimately. So we should remain intact with the teaching of great acharyas in order not to create this cancer cell in our devotional life. And anytime that can happen, we can come under the influence of such ideas at any time if we are not careful enough. And one way we can see this way, from another way, Krishna is so unlimited. Many people talk about him in different way. Ascharyavat pasyati kaschidenam, ascharyavat badati tathaiva chanyam, ascharyavat chainam anya srinoti, srutva pena vedam nachaiva kaschid. Krishna says about soul. Some people see soul as amazing. Ascharyavat pasyati kaschidenam. Pasyati means to see. Enam means the soul. Ascharya badati means to speak. Somebody speak it as amazing. Somebody hear it as amazing. Some people, even after hearing, they know nothing about the soul. This knowledge of mystery is a rahasyam, very mysterious thing. So when we follow the acharyas, then we understand the conclusion of the Vedas, of the knowledge of the whole Vedas. That is why sampradaya is required to understand. Many people take, you should not be under the certain sampradaya, then certain sect, certain school to become God conscious. You should come out from that little boundary to understand the unlimited God. This is bogus idea, because sampradaya meaning in Sanskrit, sama means complete, totality of what? Totality of the knowledge of God. Pradaya means what? Krishna prema pradayate, pradayane means to give the knowledge of God in complete. It's called sampradaya. So if you are not within this one of the school and learn the science of Krishna, then you will always remain under the sun, under the ignorance, and we will be misled in this world. So these Vaishnavas are very clear in their understanding. They are very clear in their vision. They are very clear in their goal. They understand the Lord in complete. So they see the connection of God. There's a beautiful story about Lord Buddha. When he got enlightenment, after certain 14 days, something days, he's living, sitting under the great banyan tree in Gaya, in Bodh Gaya. After he woke up from his meditation, he saw an apple falling from the tree. Or maybe saw the apple. And he looked at apple for 7 days. Just looking at the apple for 7 days. Not talking to anybody. Quiet, peaceful, very calm, very shanti. And some people asked, you got enlightened, you need to come out and preach. What was the goal, purpose of watching an apple? What does it mean? We only heard Einstein was the apple. Then Lord Buddha said, I was seeing this apple coming from a tree. It has a seed inside. That seed has a great potency to bear a tree. And that tree can bear a flower, and from flower it becomes fruits. And I was thinking that the sun provides the light, heat, nourishment, the moon. And the sun gets its power from the Lord. And I was meditating on the Supreme Lord, that how this beautiful creation is all connected to God. I was amazed by this realization. That was why I was just simply watching the apple and meditating the creator, the ultimate creator, Supreme Lord. This is the vision of a devotee. We see Krishna in everywhere, everything. Behind everything that happens, there is Krishna. That's why Krishna always does things for a reason, and we do not do, and that's why we fall in the karmic life. Krishna never fall. When Krishna was in Vrindavan, can you imagine the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is served by thousands of Lakshmis, who does all kind of mysterious pastimes in the spiritual world eternally. Every single second, Krishna performs something new that attracts all these devotees. He comes and go to the forest to tend cows. What is the need for Krishna to do so? Can you imagine Donald Trump come here and then do the bird cage cleaning or feeding our birds? Doesn't make sense. But Krishna does that for the reason to teach people that without cow, your economy cannot survive. In order to survive in the society, we need cow. Mother cows, they are the real economy of the world. In India, they practically tested that there was a desert, and they kept thousands of cows in that land. And after some time, some years, that barren land became green forest. When mother cow walk on the mother earth, the soil become fertile just by touching by mother cows. Her manure fertilize the soil, make it urbara. Urbara means that can produce something. So that is Krishna, that he does every single thing for a purpose. And as a result of that, Krishna never fall into the karma. He says, Naham limpanti karmani. Even though I do everything in this world, without me, you cannot even imagine this material world. But you fall into the law of karma. I do not, because I do not do whimsically. I always do things for a purpose. In Ramayana, there is a beautiful story also why Mother Sita had to go away from Ram. There was a demon who was blessed that I will not kill as long as Lord Ram give up his wife, Sita. Because he knew that Ram loves Sita so much and he cannot give up Sita for a moment. So if I keep this promise, and I will never die, I'll remain always immortal. So in order to break that ego of the demon, Ram had to give up Sita for a while, and then immediately that demon died. So everything we see Krishna does in his life, it has thousands of meaning behind. It is said that every Bhagavad Gita sloka, every sloka has at least 1,000 meaning. That's what Madhvacharya said, that every Gita, every slok in Bhagavad Gita has thousands of meaning, 1,000 meaning. Prabhupada also said, Prabhupada also wanted to write Gita in different perspective. Prabhupada wrote this Bhagavad Gita from the bhakti perspective, the ultimate reason of the whole Bhagavad Gita and teachings of all this Vedic knowledge, to have devotion for the Lord, to have loving spirit for the Lord. Some people simply stuck in the energy level of Krishna. They always talk about energy, this energy, that energy. We all are energies. But they do not know who is the energetic. They do not want to know who the energy, who all this energy come from. And devotees, Vaishnavas, especially Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's followers, is teaching, focusing on the beauty of the Lord and try to enter into the personal life of Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaching us to enter into the personal life of Krishna and be part of his personal daily affairs. A team member of Krishna's daily closed, internal, intimate life. So when we have understanding on this level, then devotees maintain their faith. Their faith is maintained and sustained and then nourished. And when we hear the same thing from the mouth of a devotee, pure devotees add his personal realization and his personal happiness and his personal experience in the katha, then it becomes more tastier. So when we hear such pure devotees speaking, we immediately come to that feeling of Krishna consciousness naturally. Some speakers, they simply influence people. Oh wow, his class is great, he's such a great influencer, but he does not bring any change in the heart of the people. Because his goal is just to influence people and attract towards me. But Prabhupada and other great saintly people, when they talk, they are not talking to make you under his influence. He is not speaking to have you to appreciate him. Wow, Swamiji, you are really great, give good lectures. No, Prabhupada is talking to change your heart. He can see that we are suffering here in this world, and this is the medicine for you that works the best. So, then we naturally become compassionate. And Krishna, one of the qualities that Rupa Goswami explained in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, there are 64 qualities of Krishna. But is that Krishna is only limited to 64 qualities? Do you think so? Krishna has unlimited qualities. But here in this world, if we know more qualities than 64, then our mind doesn't work. We cannot function. We cannot even imagine. So even one quality, when Krishna does rasa dance, a lot of people even still now today they criticize Krishna for dancing rasa dance. So what can they understand other intimate qualities of Krishna? That's why Rupa Goswami only manifested these 64 qualities in this material world. One of them is compassion, kripa. See how Krishna is very merciful upon us, that he wants us to take his kripa potency And what we need to do every day to sustain our life, we need to eat every day. So in order to provide his mercy, his compassion to living entities every day, so he and Krishna know that everyone sustain on food. So if I make the food sanctified, then they are taking my compassion every day through the food. That's why that is the idea that we offer the food for Krishna, and it becomes Krishna's mercy is transformed into the food, and we eat and we receive Krishna's blessings. Who can think in that broad way other than Krishna? Sri Sri Gaur Nitai ki. That is why we do not eat prasadam, we honor prasadam. When we think about prasad, we do not simply think about food item, we think about Krishna's mercy coming through the food item. So Vaishnavas purify their ideas and they understand things better. It's like a seed, one small little seed. When it is a seed, it is in dormant state. Within the seed, you can imagine a big plant, nice flowers, good fruits and everything. But when that fruit, the seed is put into the earth, and the earth, soil, it sprout and become a tree. And after become a tree, it bears fruits, flowers. From flower, it comes as a fruits. The fruit is the developed mind of Vaishnavas, who can see the things in a bigger scale, in a greater scale, in a broader vision. But someone whose mind is like a seed or like a sapling or like a little twig, they cannot see things greater. That's why they need to come under the guidance of bona fide spiritual master to see the thing in a better perspective, better way. Chakshudan Dilojai. They give the vision to us to see the world through Krishna consciousness. So this is all about today's discussion. If you have any question, any comment, or any reaction or anything, please. We have a few minutes. We have Gemso schedule, so we don't have much time to stay here. If you all agree with me, then yeah, please go ahead.
It's not a very profound comment, but at college I studied anthropology, and we studied so many different groups of people, different cultures, and there was this common theme, and that was in so many cultures the cow was considered just so important to that culture, and the cow actually allowed so many people to be able to live and thrive in areas that were generally inhospitable to humans. There wasn't much farmland, there wasn't, anything really, but the cow is what allowed these groups of people to survive. And that is a commonality that was like shared through so many different cultures.
If we go to Africa, even today, there are some tribes.
Mhm.
They maintain cows, and when they marry, they have to have so much reach. Their reach is measured on how many cows they carry. And such a farmer or man with many cows considered very rich, and they give their daughter happily to that man. In America, people who are depressed, they have a therapy. They take them to the cow farm and let them play with the calf, and then they become very happy. Their mood change. Mother cow, they are like a human being. I have very close relationship. When we were growing up, we would have many cows in our home. Not anymore. People slowly getting rid of the cow, and they keep like water buffalo and other things slowly like that. It's degrees going down. Jai Go Mata ki jai. Hare Krishna. Hari Om. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल।